Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 4 of Season 2 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, here to welcome you to the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What an exciting race we have for you here tonight, here at Atlanta. But we all know the characteristics for those who haven't seen the races. The big characteristic of Atlanta Motor Speedway is it's a fast mile-and-a-half track where they barely get on brakes, so it's like they go into the turns around 200 to 205 to 210 miles an hour, and they exit off at like 197 or 196 for the most part. But this race is going to be rather fast, intense, and aggressive. But anyways, without further ado, let's take a look. I apologize at the starting lineup. Starting on the pole is going to be the driver who comes into this race 26th in the point standings, and that is Chris Washer. Starting second is going to be the driver who comes into this race dead last in the points in 42nd place. He's in desperate need for a good run, and that is Seth Cole. Third is going to be another driver who's in need of a good run. He comes into this race 41st in points, Danny Wells. He could have ended up winning at Rockingham, UK if he didn't make the mistake of hitting the pit wall, which I still am baffled at, but this is a new track, a new chance for Danny Wells. And starting in fourth is going to be his teammate Michael Norman, and Michael Norman comes into this race 35th in the points. Starting fifth is going to be the 88 rookie Austin Talley. He comes into this race around 23rd in points and is 13th in rookie points. Now he's in the exact car Cole Daly put in victory lane in this race a season ago. But can he have that same magic and win here today at Atlanta? We'll see. Starting next to him is going to be Barney Taylor, who comes into this race in the 16th position in points. Let's see how he'll fare tonight. Seventh is going to be rookie Mason Bromer, who comes into this race 9th in points as well as 5th in the rookie points. Can he pick up his first win? We'll find out. Give me just a second. Okay, now I feel better. Starting 8th is going to be the driver who comes into this race in 28th in points, Jekko Knight. And then starting 9th is going to be the driver who comes into the race in 10th in points, Henrietta Fitzwater. And then rounding out the top 10 is going to be Charles Jackson, who comes into this race 7th in the points. Rest of the field, we have Betty Johnson, David Rivera, Cody Lamas, Austin Weiner, rookie Alex Hawkins, Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews, Eric Burden, Justin Talampas, Parker Wright, Ian Dutta, Sam Young, Dylan Thero, points leader, tied for the points lead, Dylan Young, Preston Plord, Matt McIntyre, Tommy Mooney, tied for the points lead and leading the rookie points, Gabe Williams, Theo Stegall, Brody Talley, Hunter Bell, our winner from last week at Vegas, Next to him is Sonny Hammond. Then it's Chase Oliver, Jessica Shelton, P.J. Williams, Annie Thomas, Ryan Anderson Jr., Ken Thero, Joshua Collard, Trent Dunham, and then rounding out the field is Rue McIntyre and Alex Pedro. That is a look at your starting lineup. Let's go racing here in Atlanta. You look at the first 4 cars on the field: Washer, Cole, Wells, and Norman. 4 legends of the NR 2003 community starting in the top 4. But who is going to get the edge on this start of the race? As they are getting ready to come down to the stripe to take the green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. Chris Washer gets off to a big jump, and Seth Cole's losing ground, and now Danny Wells is going to follow behind Chris Washer. The first car on the inside, or at least it was Austin Talley. Now here comes Danny Wells underneath of Chris Washer to take the lead. And he's going to get it. Seth Cole will get second. Now it's officially updated. But now look who's all of a sudden up here in the 3rd spot. Henriette Fitzwater. Oh, we got a crash. Kyle Matthews, Charles Jackson, Austin Talley, now Justin Talampaz. Oh, and Justin Talampaz goes upside down for the 2nd week in a row. Jessica Sheldon, Dylan Young, the points leader. Tommy Mooney was involved. Jacko Knight got a piece of it. Michael Norman was involved. Alex Hawkins, Zachary Fitzwater, Shelton, Brody Talley, Mason Bromer. And I think everybody else made it through. But I thought I also saw Kyle Matthews. Where is the 5 car? There he is. It looks like he just spun it around and kept it together, but man. And now we see some drivers coming down pit road, but Henrietta Fitzwater is electing to stay out. Same for Austin Weiner and Dylan Thero and Joshua Collard, among others. But since we're under caution, let's take a look at a replay of what brought out the caution for the first time tonight here at Atlanta. Well, here's a look at it. It looks like Charles Jackson, or no, Kyle Matthews got into the right rear, the left rear of his teammate Austin Talley, and they got squabbly. And then Charles Jackson right there comes down into Justin Talampaz in the Tommy Mooney. And then, wow, look at Michael Norman went airborne, and then Justin Talampaz goes for a barrel roll. That's the 2nd race in a row Talampaz has gone for a wild ride. Mason Bromer got caught up in this, as well did Jacko Knight. There you see Alex Hawkins, Zachary Fitzwater, Dylan Young, Brody Talley, Jessica Shelton. So we get the big one here at Atlanta happening, and Justin Talampaz is going to get the worst end of the deal, as well as Michael Norman, as Michael Norman went high up in the air. But let's go to the 5 of Kyle Matthews right along with him on the helicopter view. There you see right there, Austin Talley and Charles Jackson were side by side, but Kyle Matthews gets a good run, but a little bit tight, and he gets into Talley. Oh, Matthews actually did get some damage out of that. He hit the inside wall on the driver's side, but he wasn't involved in anything else. And there you see everybody piles in, and wow, Norman went up in the air, and Talampaz went barrel rolling for one time, and Tommy Mooney was up on 2 wheels. But just a tough break for that rookie in the 78 car of Talampaz. Let's go to the 3 of Michael Norman. He gets hit right there from Tommy Mooney, and then he got that big hit from the back of Alex Hawkins, and that's how he got caught up in this. Do my eyes deceive me, or is Michael Norman riding the top of the wall? No, he isn't. Okay. I was gonna say, it was like, what in the world? But that is a look at what brought out the caution. We're actually going to go through a couple of onboards. We're going to go onboard with Kyle Matthews on the rear end camera. Then the onboards of Michael Norman, Tommy Mooney, and Justin Talampaz. Here we are on the rear camera of Kyle Matthews. And there you see the wreck take place right behind him. On board with Michael Norman, who was running 13th at the time. There's the wreck right there. On board with Tommy Mooney. Right there, right in front of him, the wreck starts into the right side was into Talampaz. He does drive away from this. Finally on board with Justin Talampaz. Right there, when Jackson got down there, he got collected. And that is a tough break for Talampaz. But that is a look at the onboards. Let's take you to the restart. Well, the updated list of drivers out of the race after that incident are Parker Wright, Brody Talley, and Justin Talampaz. I guess some cars who were involved in it are still going to continue, but I'm not sure about Dylan Young or Bajeko Knight's on track, but Dylan Young, we'll have to check. But Henrietta Fitzwater will be your leader on this restart. Austin Weiner second, Dylan Thero third, fourth Joshua Collard, fifth is Sonny Hammond, sixth is Rue McIntyre. Those drivers stayed out. Everybody else pitted. Seth Cole will restart in 7th. Chris Washer 8th. 9th, Danny Wells. Cody Lamas in 10th. Then it's Betty Johnson, Barney Taylor, Ryan Anderson Jr., Austin Talley, Theo Stegall, Chase Oliver, Ian Dutta, Preston Plord, Eric Burton, David Rivera, Trent Dunham, Sam Young, Matt McIntyre, Hunter Bell, Gabe Williams, Annie Thomas, Kyle Matthews, PJ Williams, Mason Bromer, Ken Thero, Alex Pedro, Alex Hawkins, Jessica Sheldon, Michael Norman, Tommy Mooney, Charles Jackson, Zachary Fitzwater, and Dylan Young. I guess actually it turns out that Parker Wright's still on the track. He's just a couple laps down. I'm not sure what happened, but there he is coming up fast up through the field. But Henrietta Fitzwater's going to go to the inside. Oh, man, here comes Parker Wright, and he's got a full head of steam. He's going to get around to get one of his 2 laps back if he can clear the 36 of Fitzwater by the time they come off of turn 4. And if a caution comes out, he'll be able to potentially get another lap back. But now Fitzwater to the bottom, and she will lead the lap. And now Ken Thero is going to follow suit in the second, and now he's going to try to get around Fitzwater for the lead. And Sonny Hammond's now up here into this fray. Dylan Thero's got the preferred line, the inside line. Now here comes the highest running car who pitted right there in the 4th spot, and that is Chris Washer. But meanwhile, Dylan Thero takes the lead from Henrietta Fitzwater. Let's check in the back, see who's running. There's Zachary Fitzwater. He is not up to speed. Same for Michael Norman, Alex Hawkins, Tommy Mooney, and Charles Jackson, and Jessica Shelton, and Jeko Knight. Everybody else is up to speed. Excuse me. There you see Ian Dutta running up here. Oh, I thought I saw they were going to go 4 wide, but they settle it to 3 wide. Meanwhile, Dylan Thero continues to lead. Now look who's in second. Chris Washer, and the caution is out. Oh, Dylan Young's on pit road. Was there anybody else involved? There's Fitzwater back here. Sam Young might have been involved. Trying to find any more cars with damage. Preston Plord, he looks fine. We might have had a solo car spin involving Dylan Young, and maybe Sam Young could have started it, but we don't know. We'll have to see the replay in just a moment. But let's see if everybody's going to come down pit road this time. And everybody is coming down this time. So Dylan Thero strategy of staying out along with Sonny Hammond and a few others who stayed out, that strategy somewhat paid off because they're going to stay around that top 10. But now we're going to find out who is going to come out as the leader. As there you see Dylan Thero's into his pit box. Chris Washer, who's on the pole, he gets the first box. Let's see who's going to come out first. It looks like Sonny Hammond's going to come out as the leader. Yes, Sonny Hammond got a fast enough pit stop, and he's going to come out as the leader. Let's check up front. Nobody stayed out, so Sonny Hammond will restart as your leader. Let's take a look at a replay to what brought out the caution for the second time here at Atlanta. Well, I found what brought the caution out. Here you see Sam Young racing side by side with Chase Oliver. He goes up, gets tight, and he forces Chase Oliver up against the wall, and Preston Plord's coming with a full head of steam. Sam gets up in front of Chase Oliver, and he comes down into Preston Plord. And Plord actually does hit the inside wall, but Sam Young managed to drive away and not hit anything. But let's see how hard of a hit Preston Plord is going to take. As there you see, he gets clipped by Sam Young. Looks like he did exactly what Kyle Matthews did, and that's pancake the inside wall, but he's still driving. So, and wow, that was a close call. He almost wrecked Chase Oliver, and that would have been something. But otherwise, that was what brought the caution out. Only a 2-car incident. Let's now take you to the restart. Well, after that, no cars are out of the race except for Brody Talley and Justin Talampaz. As there you see Parker Wright and Jecko Knight are coming down to take their spots on the inside. But is Dylan Young out? Let's check. No, he's just coming out of pit road. He's still trying to get his damage repaired. But Sonny Hammond will be your leader. Second is Henrietta Fitzwater. Third, Chris Washer. Fourth, Dylan Thero. Fifth is Trent Dunham. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh is who could be your points leader after this race, Gabe Williams. Austin Weiner 8th, Betty Johnson 9th, 10th is Theo Stegall. Then it's Danny Wells, Ian Dutta, Matt McIntyre, Cody Lamas, Austin Talley, Ken Thero, Eric Burton, Barney Taylor, Mason Bromer, and Ryan Anderson Jr. Then Joshua Collard, Rue McIntyre, Alex Pedro, David Rivera, Hunter Bell, Annie Thomas, Jessica Sheldon, PJ Williams, Kyle Matthews, Alex Hawkins, Michael Norman, Tommy Mooney, Sam Young, Chase Oliver, Preston Plord, Zachary Fitzwater, and Charles Jackson, along with Parker Wright, Jecko Knight, and Dylan Young on the inside in 38th, 39th, and 40th. But here we go. Green flag is back out, and I believe it is 35 laps to go here in Atlanta. And Parker Wright, he's going to have the edge on the bottom, but meanwhile, here comes Henrietta Fitzwater to take her spot back as the leader. But Chris Washer's following behind Fitzwater, and Sonny Hammond's going to get kicked up to back to the third spot now. But Parker Wright is up to speed. He's just making it hard for some of these guys to try to get the lead. But side by side between Fitzwater and Washer. And it looks like Washer will get the edge, and Sonny Hammond's going to go to the inside as well to try to get second away from Fitzwater. Check the lights, and it looks like we are still green. And we are, because I don't see the yellow flag out. But Chris Washer gets the lead back. Sonny Hammond second. And then look at this, 3 wide. 2 of them are battling for third, Fitzwater and Dunham. Excuse me. And Dunham may get the spot. Meanwhile, up ahead, we have a battle for the lead. Sonny Hammond trying to get his spot back. And he's going to clear Washer for the lead. And there you go. Now, Trent Dunham is coming into the fray to make a 3-car battle for the lead. Oh, he's right there on Washer. Oh, man, he almost turned him. That was how close they were together. But now, Washer's going back to the inside to try to get around Hammond for the lead again. And we're under caution again. Let's see who was it for. Oh, I saw some smoke back there. Looks like Austin Talley was involved in whatever this was. I'm trying to look around for any more cars that might have been involved. I think it was just a solo car spin for Austin Talley, I would assume. But Chris Washer is your leader. Let's see, are they coming down the pit road again this time? Looks like they are. It's like every caution that comes out, they're coming down pit road to get fresher tires and extra gas. Kyle Matthews is actually going to be the only one that's going to stay out. So I guess Kyle Matthews will be your leader on the restart here. But let's check, see who's going to come out second out of pit road. And who will restart in the second spot. Let's keep an eye out on this. And it looks like Trent Dunham's going to get it out. Barely over Chris Washer. So it looks like it will be Kyle Matthews, Trent Dunham, Chris Washer, Henrietta Fitzwater, and Gabe Williams will be the top 5. But let's take a look at what brought out the caution for the 3rd time here at Atlanta. Well, here's a look at it. Austin Talley's coming up the track. And Eric Burton gets into Barney Taylor and into Austin Talley. And that's going to spin the 88 car around. And there were a lot of cars right in there in that mix. So it was close to being a big pileup. But luckily for Austin Talley, he doesn't hit anything or anyone. So he luckily got away with a solo car spin, and Austin Talley is going to continue. All he needs was to get some fresher rubber, and boom, he was good to go. But anyways, that is a look at what brought the caution out for the 3rd time. Let's take you now to the restart. Well, still no drivers out of the race after the first caution, but Kyle Matthews stayed out. He's going to be your leader. He's going to go try and win 2 races already in the season and pick up a 2nd win here after winning the Daytona 500. But he's going to be your leader. Then it's Trent Dunham 2nd. 3rd, Chris Washer. 4th, Henrietta Fitzwater. 5th is Gabe Williams. 6th is Austin Weiner. 7th, Ian Dutta. 8th, Matt McIntyre. 9th, Dylan Thero. Rounding out the top 10 is Betty Johnson. Then it's Seth Cole, Alex Pedro, Ken Thero, Cody Lamas, PJ Williams, Preston Plord, Barney Taylor, Chase Oliver, Ryan Anderson Jr., and Annie Thomas, the top 20. Then it's Mason Bromer, Eric Burton, Sonny Hammond, who was up at the front. He's now back here in 23rd. Then Sam Young, Danny Wells, Charles Jackson, Hunter Bell, Joshua Collard, Michael Norman, Rue McIntyre, David Rivera, Alex Hawkins, Austin Talley, Tommy Mooney, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Sheldon, Theo Stegall. And then the 3 cars on the inside are still Parker Wright, Jecko Knight, and Dylan Young. But Kyle Matthews is going to be your leader here. Green flag is back out here at Atlanta. And we're only a few laps away from halfway. And it looks like Chris Washer is going to try to go to the inside once again to get the lead back. Meanwhile, Henrietta Fitzwater following up, and it's 3 wide for second between Fitzwater, Dunham, and Matthews, but it was a clean fight right there. And Chris Washer still leads away. And now look who's coming up here. Now it's 3 wide for the lead, but Parker Wright's still a lap or 2 down. Henrietta Fitzwater gets the lead. Now look who's coming into the picture. Austin Weiner, who came so close to winning last week at Las Vegas. He got bypassed by his teammate and rookie Hunter Bell and lost the race. But now he's going to go to the inside of Henrietta Fitzwater to try to get the lead for the first time today. Meanwhile, we are still green flag racing here. And Austin Weiner is your leader. Meanwhile, it's going to be possibly 3 wide for second. Gabe Williams, who's trying to get the points lead. And if he can finish well enough, he could be the new points leader after the troubles Dylan Young has had. And now look who's in third. Seth Cole, he's trying to make a march back up to the front. He wants to get his first win of his career so bad. And now he's got a run on Gabe Williams for second place. And he's going to go to the inside. And look who else is coming into the fray. If I can get to him. Preston Plord. After hitting the inside wall pretty hard, he's all of a sudden running up here in the top 10. How astonishing is that for Preston Plord? Meanwhile, Seth Cole's going to go to second while Austin Weiner continues to lead, and we are still green. This is the longest green flag run we've had this entire race. And everybody's just racing each other really, really clean, really well. Oh, now Dylan Young, who is not up to speed and he's a lap car. Are these drivers going to have problems trying to get around the 2 car? Well, Dylan Young's actually going down pit road, so they're safe. But now it is 21 laps to go, so we are definitely past halfway. While we're still green, let's take a look at the top 20. Austin Weiner's your leader. Second is Seth Cole. Third, Trent Dunham. And where did Sonny Hammond come from? He's all the way up here in the 4th after being back in 23rd on the restart. And the caution flag is back out. Who was at 4? I thought I saw a smoking car. Oh, Henrietta Fitzwater might have spun. Other than that, I don't see anybody else who wrecked, so I think we got away with another solo car spin from the looks of it, involving Henrietta Fitzwater, who was a front runner for a lot of the race. And it's 19 to 20 laps to go here. And it looks like everybody's coming down pit road this time. And Austin Weiner is going to be the first to dive into his pit stall. Then Sonny Hammond, Cody Lamas, Ryan Anderson Jr., then Trent Dunham. We need to go up to Chris Washer because he has the first pit stall. And we'll see if he can get up to the lead in time. So far, no problems getting in. Oh, and all of a sudden, Austin Weiner and Dylan Young, teammates, collided trying to get on in pit road. That's going to cost Austin Weiner a little bit, but it's going to be Trent Dunham who's going to be your leader here on the restart. Let's take a look at what brought the caution out for the 4th time here at Atlanta. Well, here's a look at it. Henrietta Fitzwater got running up against the wall. And she's going to come down in the Austin Tally, and that's going to turn her around. And does she hit the inside wall? Yes, she does. So that might affect her speed. But other than that, no really terrible damage on that car, and she was still able to drive away. So it looks like she's going to continue, but who knows if she's going to be up to speed or not. But luckily, again, we get away with just a solo car spin. But that was a look at what brought the caution out. Let's take you to the restart. Well, still no drivers out of the race. So after that first incident, nobody's been damaged bad enough to be considered to be out of the race. But Trent Dunham is going to be your leader. Second is Chris Washer. Third, Ian Dutta. Fourth is Cody Lamas. Fifth will be David Rivera all of a sudden up here. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh, Gabe Williams. Eighth, Sonny Hammond, and he's got a fast car. I won't be surprised if he can get back up to the front. Eric Burton ninth, then Joshua Collard 10th. Then Danny Wells, Austin Weiner, Barney Taylor, Ryan Anderson Jr., Preston Blord, Alex Pedro, Rue McIntyre, Hunter Bell, Austin Talley, Betty Johnson, PJ Williams, Dylan Thero, Annie Thomas, Mason Bromer, Matt McIntyre, Ken Thero, Theo Stegall, Charles Jackson, Jessica Shelton, Chase Oliver, Michael Norman, Alex Hawkins, Kyle Matthews, Henrietta Fitzwater, Tommy Mooney, Sam Young, Zachary Fitzwater, and then Parker Wright, Jecko Knight, Dylan Young once again on the inside who are still a lap or more down. But Trent Dunham is going to be your leader here on this restart, and he's been dying to get his first win of his NASCAR Walmart Cup Series career. But that's not to say for other guys like David Rivera and Seth Cole and Sonny Hammond and Eric Burton. But we are back under green, and it is 16 laps to go. Trent Dunham's going to clear the lap car of Parker Wright, and he's going to have him be a pick in between himself and Chris Washer. But now Parker Wright goes to the inside, as too does Chris Washer and Ian Dutta. Now Chris Washer's going to get the lead, Ian Dutta second. But there is still plenty of time for somebody to make a challenge for the win. And now here comes Ian Dutta to the inside. He's going to try to go for his second career win. He got a win last season during the chase, if I can recall. I think he won at, I want to say it was Kentucky? I don't remember, but nonetheless, he does have a win. Meanwhile, back here, Cody Lamas is entering into the fray, and now Chris Washer going to die back. Oh, Trent Dunham! Danny Wells, among others, have wrecked. Sonny Hammond, David Rivera, Gabe Williams, who was trying to get the points lead. Oh, Theo Stegall, Dylan Thero. Sam Young got involved. Michael Norman. Oh, Zachary Fitzwater. Oh, and then Dylan Young all of a sudden just went spinning out of control. And he's smoking, so we're going to have some more retirees now. After going so good with only just single car incidents, this had to happen. Kyle Matthews is smoking. Tommy Mooney, Zachary Fitzwater, Trent Dunham, who was on the road to having such a good run. But man, oh man, tough break for those guys. Looks like everybody is going to stay out. However, Danny Wells has the damage, so he has to come down pit road. Yeah, everybody's probably staying out this time. But man, that is just a tough break for these guys who got involved. Who were hoping to get the win or a good run. But Chris Washer's still your leader. Let's take a look at a replay as to what brought the caution out for the 5th time here at Atlanta. Well, here's a look at it. Trent Dunham was running really up high, and he gets up into Parker Wright. But then look at Sonny Hammond. He gets a big run, and he gets up into Parker Wright, and into Trent Dunham, and into Danny Wells. And that's going to force those cars to spin, and Gabe Williams gets into Dunham. Then Rivera had nowhere to go. They spin. And then when Dunham's back up on the track, he gets Kyle Matthews, and then Theo Stegall sideswipes David Rivera. And that's what got Sam Young and Henrietta Fitzwater involved. And then Tommy Mooney sideswiped him. Michael Norman. Actually, and then Zachary Fitzwater gets into Kyle Matthews. Does somebody hit... oh, man. From the looks of it, it looked like Dylan Young hit Gabe Williams. After that side swipe, let's see what happened with this. Dylan Young right into the rear, and that's how Dylan Young got involved. Made his damage worse. But what about Michael Norman? How did he get into this? I think he sideswiped somebody as well. Let's see. Yeah, he sideswiped David Rivera, and that was enough to mess up his car even more. And then Theo Stegall would have gotten through, but let's see, who does he sideswipe again? Let's see. David Rivera, and he goes up, and Dylan Theo gets a piece of it, as to does Sam Young and Henrietta Fitzwater. And that was all that mess back there, but that was a look at what brought the caution out for the 5th time. Let's take you to the restart. Well, after that we have some more retirees, and they are Tommy Mooney, Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews, Theo Stegall, David Rivera, Gabe Williams, Michael Norman, and Dylan Young. But Parker Wright and Jekko Knight are still on track, so we have 30 cars on the lead lap, 32 left on the track. Chris Washer is your leader, 2nd Ian Dutta, 3rd is Cody Lamas, 4th Joshua Collard, and then 5th is Seth Cole. 6th is Parker Wright, 7th Alex Pedro, and then 8th will be, actually Parker Wright, not. 7th is Betty Johnson, 8th Eric Burton, 9th Matt McIntyre, 10th is Sonny Hammond. 11th is Ken Theo, then Andy Thomas, Ryan Anderson Jr., Hunter Bell, Rue McIntyre, Preston Plord, Chase Oliver, Austin Weiner, Barney Taylor, PJ Williams, Mason Bromer, Charles Jackson, Austin Talley, Dylan Theo, Sam Young, Henrietta Fitzwater, Jessica Sheldon, Alex Hawkins, Trent Dunham, and Danny Wells. And then you got Parker Wright and Jekko Knight in between Alex Pedro, Seth Cole, and Betty Johnson. And they're still a lap or two down. But here we go. The green flag is back out, and it is 9 laps to go here at Atlanta. So time's ticking away for some of these guys to try to impress. And Chris Washer's going to keep the lead, at least for the time being, and Seth Cole's getting bypassed by Parker Wright and Alex Pedro. But now here comes Ian Dutta to the inside, along with Cody Lamas and Joshua Collard. But now Cody Lamas is going to the inside of Ian Dutta for the lead. Who's going to lead this lap? Who got it? I think Lamas got him. No, Dutta got it, but now here comes Joshua Collard, and Trent Dunham is definitely not up to speed, but Joshua Collard is now your leader. And now second, and going for the lead, is rookie Betty Johnson in the 99. And she is going to clear Collard for the lead, and it is, I believe, I want to say 7 to go now. Yeah, it is 7 to go. So time's ticking away. And then look who else is coming up through the field. Last week's winner, Hunter Bell. Is he going to go for 2 in a row here and be the first rookie ever to win 2 races in a row here? We'll see, but Betty Johnson continues to lead. And it is 6 laps to go here in Atlanta. And we are still clean and green. Meanwhile, we still have cars that are not up to speed at all. Seth Cole got held up, and now he's in the back. But now we got a battle for 3rd between Andy Thomas and Hunter Bell. We have 4 rookies running in the top 5. Meanwhile, Joshua Collard is going to try to get a run on Betty Johnson to get the lead again. And we are still green flag racing, which is good. And then Sonny Hammond trying to make a comeback of sorts. He's got probably one of the fastest cars on the track. If we stay green, he could be a threat for the win. And then you got Preston Plord back here and Austin Weiner, who was fast early on. Let's see who is the leader now. Oh, they're encountering Trent Dunham. Uh-oh. Andy Thomas is getting held up from this. This is not good. And now where's Dunham gonna go? Oh, and Dunham goes around! Annie Thomas spun! Oh, man! I kind of had a feeling something like that was going to happen when Dunham was encountered. Oh, Jessica Shelton! And Alex Hawkins. Here I thought we could have gotten away with the race finishing under green, but the race is going to be over. Let's see who was up front. It was Collard. So it looks like Joshua Collard is going to win here in Atlanta. But are these guys coming down pit road? No, they're staying out. I thought these guys were coming down pit road. That would have been a squabble, but they're getting ready to come to the stripe to take 2 to go. We'll take you to the replay as to what happened and what brought the caution out for the 6th and final time here at Atlanta. Well, I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen because they caught Trent Dunham very fast, and he was holding up Annie Thomas back here. And then he goes up, and then PJ Williams is coming through, and Ken Thera actually gives a little sheet metal grab to Annie Thomas, and that spins Annie Thomas into Ken Thera, but he drives away. And here we thought we would get away with only just a 2-car incident, and then watch, and wow, Barney Taylor came close to getting hit. So was Dylan Theros. That was close. But watch Jessica Shelton come into this. Bam! Right in the back. And then Alex Hawkins is going to come into this. Sideswipes the car, and it was enough to blow that motor out, but man, we were hoping we wasn't going to have something like that happen when it was a good green flag run, but unfortunately, drivers are out of the race even more after this. But now let's take you to the final lap. Well, we are on the final lap, and it looks like it's going to be Joshua Collard. So this is the 2nd race in a row a rookie has won a race. And it looks like Collard is going to be your winner. And what a great race this was for some rookies. As I can tell, we have 4 rookies who finished in the top 5. With Collard, Johnson, Bell, and Plord. And Plord, I have to say, Preston Plord made the biggest comeback of this entire race because he hit the inside wall pretty hard during, I believe it was the 2nd or 3rd caution, and he all of a sudden was really fast, and he's going to end up getting 5th place, but we'll see the official results once they come to the checkered flag. But I was hoping we would have finished the race under green, and that would have been something great to see a great finish, but nonetheless, we are seeing some special go down with a rookie for the 2nd race in a row will win a race. Hunter Bell did it last week at Las Vegas. This week, it's going to be Joshua Collard. So coming down to the checkered flag, officially, Joshua Collard is going to win the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta. And what was a really good race. Great job for that 43 team. Great job for Joshua Collard. And everybody else passed the finish line. So now we can take a look at the results. Joshua Collard is going to get his first career NASCAR Walmart Cup Series win. And for the 2nd race in a row, a rookie will go to victory lane, and it's going to be Collard. Betty Johnson, so close to winning. She's going to come away with 2nd. Great run for her. Hunter Bell, the momentum just keeps going for that team. 1 last week, 3rd this week. This guy could be a potential contender for the championship when we get to the chase, if he does make it still. Sonny Hammond, who is arguably the fastest car of the race. He is the highest finishing non-rookie in the race. He finishes 4th. Great run for him. And then Preston Plord, like I said, comeback of the race. He gets involved in the second caution by hitting the inside wall really hard, and he all of a sudden comes back and finishes in 5th. Great run for him. Austin Weiner, 6th, who led a little bit early on. He's going to come away with a top 10 finish. PJ Williams gets 7th. Rue McIntyre, he's starting to get some good finishes going for himself. He comes away with 8th. Chase Oliver, who was involved in an incident earlier on, he wasn't really up into the top 15 at all much of the race. He's going to get 9th. That's another comeback. And then rounding out the top 10 was arguably the dominant car of the race, Chris Washer. Great run for him. This could move him up high up into the points. Rest of the top 20 was Matt McIntyre, Alex Pedro, Cody Lamas, Ian Dutta, Charles Jackson, Mason Bromer, Ryan Anderson Jr., Seth Cole, Ken Thero, and Eric Burton. And then the rest of the cars who finished on the lead lap were Austin Talley, Barney Taylor, Sam Young, Henrietta Fitzwater, Dylan Thero, and Danny Wells. The next 2 cars finished the race but were a lap down, Parker Wright and Jecko Knight. And then the rest of the cars were out of the race, and they were Annie Thomas, Alex Hawkins, Jessica Sheldon, Trent Dunham, Tommy Mooney, Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews, Theo Stegall, David Rivera, Gabe Williams, Michael Norman, Dylan Young, Brody Talley, and Justin Talampas. Now, the point situation coming into this race, it was Hunter Bell who came in 10 points behind both Dylan Young and Gabe Williams. Kyle Matthews came 9 points behind them. Hunter Bell is going to be your new points leader when we come to the next race at Bristol. So congrats to Hunter Bell. He's going to be your new points leader and rookie points leader. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to Atlanta. Next race is Bristol. Here are your results, rookie points and regular points once again. Until next race, I am Levi McIntyre saying so long, everybody.